Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your home for in-depth political analysis and commentary from across South Africa. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the stories shaping our democracy. Now let's get into today's big topic, and trust me, this one goes deep. This week, the long-simmering scandal surrounding Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen and his now former Chief of Staff, Roman Cabanac, has finally reached a boiling point. After months of mounting pressure, Steenhuisen has officially dismissed Cabanac, ending a controversy that's not only haunted his ministry but also exposed deeper issues around race, political vetting, and leadership within both the Democratic Alliance and the broader Government of National Unity. Let's unpack what actually happened, why it matters, and how this moment could shape political accountability in post-2020 for South Africa. Roman Cabanac's appointment last August already raised eyebrows from day one. Known in some circles as a former right-wing podcaster, his past wasn't exactly hidden, but few were prepared for what would come to light shortly after he assumed office. Archived social media posts, dating back years, began to surface. Among the most shocking were inflammatory comments such as, "Blacks are not liberals," and statements that appeared to downplay the Sharpeville massacre, one of the darkest and most pivotal moments in our apartheid-era history. Now, let that sink in for a moment. A senior official, appointed within a government that's supposed to reflect a constitutional, non-racial order, caught on record making statements that not only offend but fundamentally question the dignity of the very people that government serves. The backlash was immediate. Civil society groups, political commentators, journalists, and opposition parties were swift to condemn both Cabanac's past and Steenhuisen's judgment in appointing him. The economic freedom fighters were especially scathing, accusing Steenhuisen and the DA of betraying black South Africans and displaying, quote, institutionalized racial blindness. But here's where it got worse: Steenhuisen didn't act. At least not immediately. In fact, in the face of growing outrage, Steenhuisen initially defended Cabanac, highlighting his administrative capabilities and legal expertise. It was a classic case of prioritizing competence over conscience, a stance that drew even more criticism. Critics pointed out that this wasn't just about one bad tweet or a youthful mistake. This was about a pattern of thinking, a worldview that had no place in a constitutional democracy still trying to reckon with the deep wounds of its past. The fact that a high-ranking leader of the GNU, and the head of the DA, saw fit to keep such a man in a position of power, even after those posts surfaced, was seen by many as a political and moral failure. Behind the scenes, however, the pressure continued to mount. According to sources close to the ministry, Steenhuisen had requested Cabanac's resignation as early as September 2024. But Cabanac refused to go quietly. What followed was a protracted internal HR battle, with procedural obstacles and resistance from the man himself. It wasn't until this week, ironically on Cabanac's own birthday, that Steenhuisen finally pulled the plug and terminated his employment. Now, let's not sugarcoat this. The damage is already done. Steenhuisen's delayed response has left a mark, not just on the ministry, but on the credibility of the Democratic Alliance as a whole. And while the DA is used to criticism from the left, this particular scandal struck a deeper nerve. It confirmed for many what they've long suspected, that the DA's commitment to transformation and racial reconciliation is still, at best, superficial. And Cabanac? He's not going quietly. He's already threatening legal action, claiming procedural irregularities in how his dismissal was handled. If that legal battle unfolds publicly, it could drag this issue even further into the spotlight and place renewed scrutiny on how political appointments are vetted, or not vetted, in South Africa. Now, let's zoom out a bit. What does this say about the broader Government of National Unity? At its core, the GNU was meant to be a moment of collective maturity, a response to a fractured electorate, a chance to work together for national progress. But moments like this one expose the fragile foundation beneath the ideal. When ministers can appoint controversial figures with histories of racial provocation, and then hesitate to act decisively when those histories come to light, it raises serious questions about the GNU's ability to lead with integrity and moral clarity. Moreover, this controversy isn't happening in a vacuum. South Africa today is grappling with critical issues: land reform, agricultural transformation, food security, and the marginalization of rural black farmers. To have this debate clouded by the shadow of a racially insensitive bureaucrat not only undermines policy progress but also erodes public trust. And then there's the internal fallout for the DA itself. While Steenhuisen might have believed Cabanac could quietly contribute behind the scenes, many within the DA's own ranks were uncomfortable with the appointment from day one. Some saw it as a tone-deaf move, a gift to their political opponents, particularly in a climate where the DA is already seen as battling perceptions of exclusion and elitism. Others questioned the broader pattern of appointments and decision-making in the party. Who else is being given power without thorough scrutiny? What kind of political culture tolerates such misjudgments? In many ways, this entire episode offers a case study in what not to do when leading in a divided and deeply unequal society. Leadership isn't just about making tough decisions, it's about making the right ones, at the right time, for the right reasons. So what now? For Steenhuisen, the dismissal of Cabanac may close one chapter, but it opens several more. He'll need to work hard to repair trust, not only among new partners but also with the South African public. His next appointments will be closely watched. His political opponents will seize on this as evidence of hypocrisy or lack of judgment. And internal party critics may grow bolder in challenging his leadership direction. For the DA, this is a wake-up call. The party must reckon with its internal culture, its approach to transformation, and the perception, justified or not, that it's out of step with the lived realities of most South Africans. And for the rest of us, this is a reminder that democracy requires vigilance. That appointments matter. That the people in power shape not just policy, but the tone and texture of our public life. We cannot afford to look the other way when racism, insensitivity, or historical denialism creeps into our corridors of government. Thank you for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Was Steenhuisen right to fire Roman Cabanac, or should he have acted much sooner? And what does this say about the DA and the future of our government of national unity? If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more long-form political commentary. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and see you next time.